Tennessee, where tonight the #3 Volunteers will battle SEC rival Arkansas. Tennessee's won 10 in a row, and this team has been together for the last 2 seasons. No one-and-doneers. And with that in mind, we start tonight with Poetry in Motion. In unison, this past Saturday night in Gainesville, Florida. Check it out. What a sight it was to see. And earlier today, Yves Pons, it's showtime in Thompson Bowling Arena.
It has been showtime all year long for the Tennessee Volunteers. Only loss, of course, against Kansas, where they were up 9 with 3 minutes left to go. There's a lot to be said here in Knoxville, Tennessee about who should be #1. Their fans, their team, their staff all believes they should be #1. But there is another team here tonight. The Arkansas Razorbacks, they have a lot to say about Grant Williams and what he can do, right? An Arkansas team that went to the NCAA tournament and won a national championship before. They have no concerns about peanut butter and jelly tonight. Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams, one of the best duos in the nation. I believe they will be challenged. This Razorback team will show their teeth. They are desperate for a win.
Thompson Bowling Arena already rocking the updated power rankings over on ESPN.com. The Vols, the #2 team in the land after Duke's upset loss at home against Syracuse just last night.
Well, there's a loss where Duke was actually up, 12-2, 14-6 before Trey Jones went down, along with Cam Reddish not playing. Regardless of who's playing for Duke, this Tennessee team is as good as anyone in the country right now. But in this league, you have to prove it, as you do all across the country.
He's Damian Fishback. I'm Roy Philpott, and we are underway in Knoxville, Tennessee. Vols in their home whites, Arkansas in their road reds.
Arkansas is expected to mix a few defenses, right? We saw them in practice yesterday working on a little 1-3-1.
Inside to Alexander, and Kyle Alexander, the senior from Ontario, with our first baskets. Razorbacks, one of the youngest teams in the country. Daniel Gafford, who could be a future lottery pick, the only returning starter from last year's tournament team, as Joe is off the mark from downtown. Meanwhile, UT returns 90% of its scoring from a year ago. Jamie, and they have high expectations this year. It's an understatement.
Yeah, difference in night day, right? You mentioned the youth of Arkansas, lost 6 of their top 7 scorers, 9 different players. For Tennessee, they are a fist working in cohesion as one unit.
Tapped out to Schofield, and a fresh 30. Gafford taps that one out of bounds. Rick Barnes, year 4. His team co-SEC regular season champions a year ago, and picked 2nd in the preseason poll this go around.
Rick Barnes, only 6 active coaches to have more career Division I wins than Coach Rick Barnes. You see the list of those coaches and you realize how effective and what a Hall of Famer he is.
Razorbacks have started 1-2 in league play. After a road win against Texas A&M, a couple of close losses, the last one coming at home against LSU in overtime last weekend. And a foul inside. It'll go against Bailey, his first, team's first. Mike Anderson, his 8th season. Coaching the Hogs, you see the record, took his team to the tournament last year and 3 of the last 4 seasons, Damian.
Well, I think his record precedes him, as does his reputation. He's blue collar, hard nosed, Sweet 16, and he lead at Missouri.
Strong move by Williams, wanted the whistle, did not get it. Well, you don't see Grant Williams not get that call the majority of the time, do you?
No, not at all. I mean, more career free throws. No junior in Division I has had more career free throws than Grant Williams.
Step back for Isaiah Joe. He's 0 for 2. Bone attacking. Strong finish.
Yeah, Jordan Bone, Coach Barnes said, has made the biggest improvement in the offseason. He's fast, he's learning, and he continues to improve with every game.
Baseline jumper by Bailey is short. Volunteers with so many weapons, especially in the backcourt, now that Lamonte Turner is gaining health and strength. Had a bad shoulder, missed about 9 games to start this season. Outside to Williams.
That's what he has to perfect, right? So to go to the next level, there's 19 scouts in the building tonight. A lot of them here to see Grant Williams, Admiral Schofield, Daniel Gafford. The one thing they want to see from Grant Williams is him to continue to extend his game.
Sweet look by Harris. Trio Bailey fouled, attacking the rim. The free throws coming up for the Hawks, who've yet to score 3 minutes in.
You said that a sweet look by Jalen Harris, 16th in the nation with 6.5 assists a game. He needs to continue to work his ability to score the basketball, but Arkansas has weapons. All of their losses boil down to 2-possession games. You look at a Western Kentucky team that knocked off Wisconsin, Texas team, right? We're there against Florida at the end. The same thing against LSU. So they're a team that's proven they can compete against anyone in the nation.
College basketball universe still on fire after Syracuse's upset win at Duke last night.
You know, I always wonder what that's like for guys as close as Coach K and Jim Boeheim. You know, they talk afterwards. They discuss.
I think they go out and they have a steak dinner somewhere in Durham. Coach K says, hey, what happened? And can my point guard gain help? Inside, and an offensive foul. Kyle Alexander, the guilty party.
Well, and you see Coach Rick Barnes talking to a quality official and Joe Lindsay. And I think the crowd feels like there was a flop there.
Put back by Gafford. And the first field goal comes 3.5 minutes in for the Hawks.
Tempo is so important in this basketball game. For Tennessee, you want to stay under control, make sure that you take fast break opportunities when they're there, and play the game through the paint. That's what they're trying to do now.
No, Schofield. Too strong. Here comes Harris.
I like it. I see the strategy. Arkansas is building the wall in that paint area, kind of like you see in the pack line defense with Virginia. They want Tennessee to beat them from the perimeter tonight.
Step back triple, Mason Jones, an air ball. Now, Jones has had his moments this season. He's led his team in scoring 6 times. That one well off the mark.
He's very capable, able to score, and does it in unique ways. 30 points, even in that loss against Florida, one of the shining stars, because points were hard to come by, right? Really scored almost half of their points, but just a little off today. Have to remember this team only a few SEC games with all the newcomers, right?
Ball start this one tonight. 2 of 9 from the floor as Williams took a shot in the eye. He'll shoot 2 when we come back. 4 minutes in. Tennessee by 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save. And in part by Continental Tire, for what you do.
Mom and Dad got a new car. It's not theirs, it's mine.
The RX 350L with 3 rows for up to 7 passengers.
Lease the 2019 RX 350 for $449 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park, even extra time with your family in the park. And now you can save up to 30% on rooms at select Walt Disney World Resort hotels. So if you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
The Fix Finder tool from AutoZone is a fast source of relief. It tells you what's the most likely fix for your engine light on the spot. For her, a gas cap. For them, new spark plugs. Need a repair shop? We can help with that too. So, how will the AutoZone Fix Finder help you?
This ladder is special. This first step, it's not even here. It's in the gym where the first practice was held. Climbing it takes months of twists and turns and tournaments. At its peak, you won't be 5 feet off the floor. You'll be on top of the world, holding the best trophy in all of sports. a piece of nylon. Continental Tire, for what you do. All right, let's have the confetti.
Number 4, Virginia. Number 1, Duke. Saturday at 6 on ESPN.
Back in Knoxville, Tennessee, you're watching the SEC on ESPN as we take you on a fast break with Seth Greenberg and Daniel Gafford.
Daniel Gafford, let's go on a fast break. Hey, Fortnite guy, what's your favorite dance?
It's the Orange Justice dance.
Let me see a little Orange Justice.
There you go, like this.
Coach Anderson, you got a favorite line?
I need dogs. I need some dogs. I don't need no puppies. I need dogs.
I need dogs, Fish. I need dogs. I don't need no puppies.
Hey, that is Coach Mike Anderson. Gets that from Nolan Richardson, who won a national championship at Arkansas. Daniel Gafford, the best rim runner. It's what most of the scouts have said. He is the best big rim-to-rim runner in the nation. And I would agree with that. You see quality bigs all across the country, but his ability to get up and down the floor is outstanding. Now, where he has to continue to improve is his back-to-the-basket game, as well as his mid-range game, right? You look at him leading the SEC with 7 double-doubles, and where Arkansas is 6-1 in those games. He has to play well for the Razorbacks to be successful.
4th in the league in blocks. I think he's a lottery pick, and the scouts are here to watch him tonight. It's a fascinating matchup against Tennessee's Kyle Alexander. He had a decision to make after last year in Fayetteville, whether or not to enter the NBA draft. We talked to him about it today. He said, I thought long and hard. It was not easy. I had people blowing me up on my cell phone. And Schofield lost the handle. Chaney checking in for the first time. Will feed Gafford, and another basket.
Beautiful. You know, for Daniel Gafford, when you think about the lottery or the draft last year, you got Wendell Carter, you have Marvin Bagley, Mo Bamba, obviously #1 pick DeAndre Ayton. I like his decision to come back this year.
Bowden inside, has 2 free throws coming. And Gafford just a sophomore as Sills picks up his first personal. Told us today, you asked him, hey, give us 1 or 2 interesting facts. And some of this had been put out there. It was the first time I had heard it. He actually played the clarinet in the high school band and the bass drum, which I think we knew.
Let's be candid. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see big Daniel Gafford, you know, 6'11", 233 pounds, which he was, what, 217, I think, when he got on campus?
But the clarinet?
No. But I respect it, though. I wish I could play an instrument, boy.
Free throws good for Bowden. I did a double take when he told us that. 5 minutes in, a 3-point advantage for the nation's 3rd-ranked team.
I like this pace for Arkansas right now. Coach Anderson said he needs for the bench to play better. Right? They played 10 guys, but the length inside that Daniel Gafford has, they're attacking.
The strongest move by Gafford that time, an open look. Bowden from the corner.
Beautiful.
Bowden scored 12 in a row on the road in the comeback at Florida Saturday night. Off to a good start here. Monte Turner checking in, aggressive at the rack. Out of bounds back to Tennessee.
And when you talk about Tennessee as being the #1 team in the country, I think that's what really separates them is their quality depth. Right, you see Lamonte Turner on the break. Look at it inside. So that's going to draw 3 defenders. And then Daniel Gafford even runs to the basketball. And then when he gets there, it's just too little too late. Jordan Bowden, like I said before, off of the bench. 50-point back-to-back games.
Turner, the lay-in, 13-5 Tennessee. Well, the depth for this volunteer program, unprecedented. Here in Knoxville, they're off to their best start in 11 seasons. A 7-0 run in the last 70 seconds tonight. Back to the Vols.
Well, and so even with a healthy Duke team, right? And I think healthy Duke is as good as anyone in the country. You know, when you got Cam Reddish, R.J. Barrett, and Trey Jones, the phenomenal freshmen, of course, Zion Williamson, they still would have to deal with the depth of Tennessee over, 6 games come March Madness. And that's why I think this Tennessee is as good as and can compete with anyone in the nation.
Well, it's a veteran team. The brilliant spin move by Grant Williams.
He's smooth, isn't he?
And here's a steal. Bowden Fulkerson. Free throws. Williams silky smooth in traffic, Damian.
Well, he has an incredible feel. You know, you love his basketball game. Nice job of spinning off of the basket. And Reggie Chaney, even though he's a young freshman, 6'8", 222 pounds, you gotta think he's got him by an inch or so, but just too big, too strong is Grant Williams.
Mike Anderson has seen enough. He'll call a timeout. Falls by 10.
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I can tell you, but it's like to. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. It's your thing. Do what you want to do.
9-0 run. Tennessee Volunteers. 6.5 in, back in Knoxville. Damian Fishback, Roy Philpott. You could be watching the nation's #1 team in the country, at least this time a week from now. Michigan will have something to say about that, but with Duke losing, the Vols certainly have an impressive resume, and you mentioned it going out to break. Their experience really is going to pay dividends, we think, come tournament time in March.
Truly, they have a ton of experience, as does Michigan, and we have to put Virginia in that conversation. Langford out for Michigan State, but I think Michigan State can compete with anyone in the nation. But Michigan would be the other team, as well as Coach Bennett and Virginia have done and undefeated. We'll learn a lot about Virginia this week, right, against their rival and against Duke. But Michigan, when you got a guy like Jordan Poole and Matthews, they're just so talented.
A steal by Turner on the inbounds. Williams back to work and rejected. But back up and in.
That exemplifies what Grant Williams is all about. Fortitude, resilient.
And Fish, the Hawks have turned it over in their last 4 possessions. There's a Boyan, too strong. 2-on-2.
Nice.
Lamonte Turner off the bench. He's like another starter for head coach Rick Barnes. And again, now that shoulder is healthy, paying dividends. Osaboyan gets it back and he'll shoot 2. And don't forget, coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern over on ESPN later tonight, Super Tuesday continues. Presented by Boost Mobile, North Carolina, Notre Dame. The Tar Heels, 13th in the country. Of course, you can watch it on the ESPN app. What happened to North Carolina against Louisville this week in a shocking, devastating double-digit loss to Louisville of all teams?
Sure. Well, number one, you had a very hungry Louisville team that's now beginning to come together. Coach Mack's doing an outstanding job. Of course, we saw Roy Williams. He said his health messed with him a little bit, but let's give credit where credit is due. Coach Mack has done it everywhere that he has been. Now, with that being said, I would not want to be Notre Dame playing a Roy Williams team in North Carolina. I expect that team to come out fiery, ambitious, and ready to play against Notre Dame.
Meanwhile, on the blink of an eye, Tennessee by 14 and with possession.
Well, that's the difference between last year's Tennessee team and this year's Tennessee team. They're playing faster, and they're much more potent and efficient on the offensive end.
The Vols give it right back. Schofield asking what the situation is. He's called for the offensive foul. That'll be his second. And Rick Barnes. Well, I tell you what, the Barnes era got off to a slow start here. It was 15-19 in year 1. Record improved to 500 in year 2, and then last season a big leap, 26-9, co-SEC champions. And they're going to take another look at that last sequence. Chuck Jones informing us, along with Joe Lindsey and Bart Lennox with his veteran officiating crew, to see maybe that last foul should be upgraded.
Yeah, obviously a common foul was called on the floor, but anytime it's above the neck, they are going to take a look at it. But as you said, outstanding officiating crew. That's what Chuck Jones told us. Bart Lennox, Joe Lindsey.
Well, 12:37 remaining in a fast pace first half. contact there between Turner and Osaboyan. The foul was called on Admiral Schofield. I think you and I both wondered, coming off an emotional comeback win at Florida Saturday night, what would be Tennessee's mindset coming into this game. And so far, so good for Big Orange.
Well, let's take a look here. It looks like they're actually looking underneath on Schofield. And obviously, for me, there's nothing malicious there. And I can tell by Admiral Schofield's face, he would concur.
Well, Harris took the brunt in.
No doubt about it, right? So anytime it's above the neck, they have that opportunity to call a flagrant one if they feel that it is excessive, not a basketball play, or unnecessary. That's a challenge, though, because we'll find out from Chuck Jones.
And they will change it to a flagrant one.
Not a surprise there. Anytime it's above the shoulder. This is what's unfortunate, though, for a player, especially if you're back to the basket. What you've learned since elementary school is you got to feel where the guy is behind you. So his wasn't even an elbow. His was him reaching his right hand back to try to feel the defender, find out where he was at. But it happened to be at the level that Harris's face was at. And so they gave him a flagrant one.
So Schofield turns it over with the offensive foul. It's moved to a flagrant one. That'll put Harris at the line and perhaps a chance for Arkansas to gain some much needed momentum. And Harris 71% at the line this year, has one more coming.
Let me tell you what you have right here, Ray. Right here you have an Arkansas team that came into this game with not a low level of confidence, but questioning themselves, right? You're coming off of a couple of losses. And then you're playing against what many people consider the #1 team in the nation. They're shell-shocked right now. But for Coach Mike Anderson, he will continue to get his team together, and they've came down from quite a few deficits.
Lamonte Turner called for the foul as Harris hit the deck. That'll be his second. It looked like he just slipped and fell. Back to live action. Now, to your point, too, Arkansas with 9 newcomers on this roster this year as the Hawks give it right back.
He was definitely on his way down.
Yeah.
There was contact, but he was on his way down without question.
One of the youngest teams in the country, and certainly for head coach Mike Anderson, he said every day is a challenge. These guys are trying to feel their way through this rough and rugged conference. No seniors on the roster.
Yeah, I was speaking with the staff a little bit last night, and they said when we came back this year, we didn't realize it. After losing 6 of our top 7 scorers, we didn't realize it, but we only had 2 guys that had made a 3-pointer on our team, and they were both walk-ons.
That's an issue. A step back by Bone and the putback by Alexander.
So we knew this game was going to boil down to 2 statistical categories. One is right here, one of the best offensive rebounders in the nation in Kyle Alexander. Had 17 rebounds earlier in the year where he had a double-double. Second of all, the turnovers, which is a challenge because Tennessee does a sensational job of taking care of the basketball. Uphill battle for the Razorbacks.
23-6. It's been a wave of white here in Knoxville. Crossover by Harris. An open look for Mason Jones. And a big basket.
Needed it. Needed it more than you can ever imagine. And for the Razorbacks, when they don't score, that also does not allow them to set up into their full court pressure, the fastest 40 minutes in basketball.
Fulkerson gives it right back. That last 3-pointer ends a 17-1 run for Tennessee. Ball still up big.
It was supposed to be a weekend of serious binge watching. But memories aren't made by staying in. Getting out of your comfort zone It's possible in the award-winning Tucson, part of the Hyundai SUV family.
Dave & Buster's gives you half-price games every Sunday through Thursday from 9 p.m. to close. Half-off games after 9 o'clock for a limited time. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Friends, they're a lot like salsa. Each one's unique in their own way. Hot, mild, cheesy, and garlic.
I thought it was a costume party.
Get together already with Tostitos.
Oh, wow. You two are going to have such a great trip.
Thanks to you, we will.
This is why Voya helps reach today's goals.
All while helping you to and through retirement.
Can you help with these?
We're more of the plan, invest, and protect kind of help. Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
Skechers Work Footwear knows that safety starts with enhanced grip rubber technology. Our water and stain-resistant uppers are perfect for keeping feet dry. With air-cooled memory foam insoles and available in relaxed and wide-fit sizes, nobody does footwear like Skechers.
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated. But 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
Well, Saturday night down in Gainesville, Florida, the Vols escaped with a 78-67 victory over their arch rival, Florida. But a bigger story may have been afterwards. Admiral Schofield, Grant Williams doing the Gator chop after an emotional comeback victory on the road, and everybody was talking about it. He's Damian Fishback. I'm Roy Philpott. Great to have you with us courtside. And Fish, I'm going to be honest with you. I love the emotion. I love the spark. I love the fire. If I'm Rick Barnes, maybe I'm going to do a double take on this, but I think college basketball needs that kind of emotion sometimes, and it was a big win on the road.
Right. I understand the excitement on the road. I wouldn't condemn the act, but I also wouldn't condone it if I'm Coach Rick Barnes. And quite frankly, Denver Parler, the SID for Florida, probably wouldn't condone it. He almost got hit by a chomp from Grant Williams. Listen, this Tennessee team plays with an edge, right? And all of your elite teams have that in him. You think about North Carolina when they won, in particularly Jay Wright in Villanova. They are always the tougher team. And so when you're on the road, there's a me against the world mindset, and I think that flowed over in the basketball game. This is still a first-class organization, first-class team. They just got a little emotional on the road.
I thought it was fantastic. That's just me. Call me crazy. Rick Barnes addressed the team about it afterwards, and even talking to reporters yesterday in a 25-minute press conference. To your point, he said, you know what, we probably shouldn't have done that.
And also, were you okay with your players doing the Gator chomp toward the Florida fans?
You know, first of all, I'm going to tell you, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Our guys aren't perfect, but that's the very first thing. When someone told me that happened, that's the first thing I addressed after the game. I don't like it simply because I want total focus on the main thing. And I think.
So I get it. I understand his perspective. If I'm Rick Barnes, that's what I'm going to do. But John Q. Fan, a.k.a. Roy Philpott, enjoyed seeing a little emotion after a big comeback win.
And I will say this, in particular in the Southeastern Conference, fans can get, shall I say, passionate and say some things that at times are offensive to the players, and that just pumps them up as well.
Turnaround by Alexander is short. An opportunity for the Razorbacks, trailing by 2 touchdowns on the road. Gafford inside, couldn't handle it. I mean, Tennessee just comes at you in waves.
Well, that's what the Razorbacks are known to do as well. And so that's why Coach Mike Anderson talked about the depth. But the quality depth and the experience of Tennessee, the guys that can hurt you from 1 to 9 is what separates Tennessee. That's pretty.
You told me Kyle Alexander has some NBA potential, too. The scouts are going to be watching him tonight, all 19 on hand.
Believe it or not, the most important player on this team. He gives them the length to go from the Sweet 16 all the way to Minneapolis and win it all. The coaches across the conference have continued to compliment the job and the differentiation that he brings to the table.
Isaiah Joe, the top three-point shooter of the SEC, missed twice. Jones gets it back. Joe again, this time from the corner.
Cal Alexander was actually out around the three-point line where Arkansas went in and got the glass. Arkansas right now continuing to hang around in this basketball game. They are a team that will continue to make runs.
Halfway through the first half here in Knoxville, Tennessee, as advertised so far. Williams turns it over. Here comes Joe attacking. And he'll shoot 2. Well, a big weekend headed your way on the ESPN networks. Our Saturday slate. You want to talk about matchups? How about undefeated Virginia and Duke, #1 in the country? Give me some early thoughts there.
I said Jerome's in the house. Ty Jerome, prolific from behind the three-point line. Obviously, DeAndre Hunter, Kyle Guy. I think Tony Bennett's team is capable. I think they're playing faster. I love that, and I'm anxious to see the Duke Blue Devils, even if Trey Jones is not back, with Cam Reddish in the basketball game.
Lakers and Rockets, 8:30 over on ABC. Cap an NBA doubleheader. James Harden's been unstoppable, unguardable, and on a tear that we haven't seen since the likes of Wilt Chamberlain.
Ooh, you said something. Has he scored 100 points in a game yet?
It feels like he's going to.
You said Wilt now. You said Wilt still.
Well, it's almost.
No, he's playing phenomenal basketball.
It's almost 15 games, 30 points or more, and in fact, I think he's already over that number these last couple of contests. He finds ways to score, even if he's 1 for 17 from deep. It doesn't matter. Back iron for Bone.
Like a ballerina. That time Jones kind of tightrope the sideline.
Joe, an open look from downtown.
Nope.
Bone wanted to get that one to Alexander, but was defended late at the rim. And Bailey traveled.
Not sure if there's a little fatigue or complacency. In practice yesterday, Coach Barnes went pretty hard on his basketball team. You see Coach Anderson clapping his hands, trying to motivate his team now. And you know, we were #1 in the country at Auburn, and when you get #1, sometimes you want to take a practice off or even a game off, and particularly when you look at a record. And you have to realize when that number is by your name, teams are going to play at a heightened level.
In and out for Yves Pons, tapped out back to the Hogs. Well, a chance here for Arkansas, which has trailed for this entire first half, to trim that deficit under 10 points.
Sure. They're very much in this basketball game because of the way they play, right? If they can score and get Tennessee to turn it over, get them sped up just a tad bit, then they can change the complexion of this game extremely fast.
Jones launches. And the 3 ball not there so far for Arkansas. Here's Bowden, scored 12 in a row against Florida, and another big triple there.
I told Coach Barnes and his staff yesterday, you guys should have put him on the bench a long time ago. Since he has come off the bench, he is playing with so much confidence.
Joe, the response. Bowden already with 8. Joe now matching that number.
Isaiah Joe, one of the best shooters in the SEC at 43%. First in the SEC and keeping his team alive.
Embry Simpson picks up the foul, and a big 3-pointer for Jordan Bowden. Keeping that hot hand going from Gainesville, and 23 and white on fire.
Bring your friends, bring your family, and bring on the flavor. Try Zaxby's Boneless Wings Meal, tossed in our new Caribbean jerk sauce. Or customize your meal with any of our other 9 delicious sauces. Zaxby's.
I'm Sloane Stevens, and I bounce back with chocolate milk.
Introducing the all-new Lexus ES. Every curve, every innovation, every feeling. A product of mastery.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $399 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Wait, I didn't know you played for the Bucks.
Wow.
Don't worry, I can help with this.
How do you know you're in a Roadhouse? When the steak orders a beer before you do. The legendary half-pound onion brewski sirloin, only at Logan's Roadhouse, where the fire lives. Get all your Roadhouse favorites to go at logansroadhouse.com.
It's surprising,
But most people who are injured by someone else's negligence never call a lawyer, especially when a study shows that people who use a lawyer get up to 3 times more money than those who don't. Maybe it's because people think they can't afford a lawyer. But at Hughes & Coleman, we never charge anything up front. The initial consultation is free, so it won't cost you anything to find out if we can help. Call Hughes & Coleman. The call costs you nothing, but it could mean everything. 800-800-4600.
How do you know you're in a roadhouse? When the steak orders a beer before you do. The legendary half-pound onion brewski sirloin, only at Logan's Roadhouse, where the fire lives. Get all your Roadhouse favorites to go at logansroadhouse.com.
Alongside Jay Williams and Adnan Burke, good to have you with us. Kentucky, Georgia's over on ESPN. Here's Reed Travis, Jay, putting in work.
Yeah, both Reed Travis and P.J. Washington have been in somewhat of an offensive slump. Love seeing Kentucky play inside out.
Back to Roy and Damian.
Adnan crushing it as always back in Knoxville. 28-17 our score. Tennessee out in front of Arkansas. Well, you think about UK, you think about Ashton Hagans and poured in 15 the other night against Vanderbilt, a comeback win at home. He's been the difference lately.
Without question, Jay Will talked about them playing the game inside out, but he knows as a guard, you got to have somebody to get it to the big fellas. And Ashton Hagans has been doing it on both ends of the floor. He starts the break because he sets the defensive tone. He is tenacious, similar to Trey Jones. And when he sets the tone at Duke, and so right now, as Kentucky continues to improve with Ashton Hagans improving, they have a chance to increase their seeding and increase their opportunity to try to compete with the likes of Tennessee for an SEC championship.
And right now, Big Blue, a 4 seed, according to ESPN bracketologist Joe Lunardi. Tennessee, a 1 seed. Speaking to what we've been talking about in our first half, the Vols have a chance to be maybe the #1 team in the country at this point next week after the loss by Duke to Syracuse last night. Michigan and Virginia both have something to say about all of that, of course.
Well, the SEC did an outstanding job in their non-conference schedule. Best winning percentage, or second best winning percentage in SEC history. Last year was actually the best winning percentage in non-conference. And so they've set the tone. We'll see what happens during conference play.
Turner off to the races, rejected by Sills at the rim, but a late whistle. And a foul against the Razorbacks.
And give that cameraman extra money. You talk about giving your body up, taking the charge. That's what I'm talking about. Hang in there, big fella. He sees Lamonte Turner coming. He doesn't bail out. Give up the body right there, Roy. Would you do that if you saw Zion Williamson coming in?
I would have ran out of the arena. That's just me. Turner at the line after the foul on Embry Simpson, his second. And don't forget, coming up Saturday, another big SEC-ACC doubleheader over on ESPN. First one starts at 4 Eastern. 12th ranked Kentucky, #14 Auburn. That's going to be a lot of fun on the Plains. Then later, #1 Duke hosting #4 and undefeated UVA. Cameron Indoor Stadium for a Sonic blockbuster, both games. Also on the ESPN app. Now, you said something crazy earlier. You said you could see Duke getting better without Trey Jones, provided that he comes back in a reasonable amount of time.
Sure, because you want to see what the ancillary players can do. You want to see how good their bench is. You want to see what happens in the NCAA tournament as Trey Jones gets a couple of early fouls or Cam Reddish goes down. And so that's what Duke's going to learn about themselves.
Gafford, the putback. Take a look at 3 of the top NBA prospects in the country. They literally could go 1, 2, and 3 later this summer in the NBA draft. Reddish, of course, missed last night against Syracuse. Another 3-ball for Tennessee as the Vols extend their lead to 16. And Bailey puts it in on the other end.
Oh!
Gafford attacked by Pons. And for the moment, kept him out of the rim.
Well, Pons, you know, was on a #4, I think, on our Sports Center top 10 before, and he tried to put Daniel Gafford in there. Woo! I'm going to tell you something. It was a lot of ball on that block, too. Remember when they were playing Gonzaga, and Brandon Clark got him clean. Now, that was probably the best block that I've seen all year. But that was pretty good as well. But I always like guys when they take it, because typically you're going to get the whistle blown in your favor.
Now, Pons at 6'6", 215, a sensational athlete, challenged Gafford, who could be a lottery pick. I'd like to see those two go at it a couple of more times tonight. And let's see who wins the next battle, because Gafford got a lot of ball, to your point.
So you want the Chomp, you want Gafford and Pons to go at it. I'm going to have to Russell Crowe you. Are you not entertained, Roy? Huh?
I love the emotion of the sport, the athleticism of the sport. We're seeing a little of all of that from Tennessee lately. As Bailey stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, ran out of real estate. Interesting enough right now, Arkansas, the team wanting to turn teams over. Tennessee is actually turning Arkansas over. Now, why is that? Number one, on the road against a hostile environment, quality team, but also because that comes along with youth, which allows a ton of points off of turnovers as well.
Rick Barnes giving instructions to Jordan Bone for the 8th Arkansas turnover of this first half. Fulkerson was fouled, free throw line extended. And Bailey will pick up the foul. That'll be his second. Our first look tonight at John Fulkerson, redshirt sophomore from Kingsport, Tennessee. He's battled some injuries, but certainly has a chance to be an X factor for this team as we dive deeper into the conference play.
Associate head coach Rob Lanier said that, you know, I think one of the reasons why a lot of people are looking at Tennessee as being a team that can win it all. And listen, should they be #1 in the country? We'll find out. We'll find that out over time. The question that Tennessee fans should be concerned with is, can we win it all? And there is no doubt in my mind, if Tennessee stays healthy, that they're one of the teams in college basketball that can literally hang a banner at the end of the year.
Bree Simpson turns it over. Volunteers in the double bonus, already 10 personal fouls called against the Hogs tonight. Arkansas also in the bonus. It's been kind of an eventful first half, these two teams getting after it, but Tennessee obviously the better team so far.
Well, for Arkansas right now, you just want to hang around. You want to try to get this, you know, at least 10, 11, 12 points before you get to the half. On the other hand, for Tennessee, this is what you do. You slam the door in on your opponent. Don't allow them to have any life whatsoever.
Working against the zone, Fulkerson connects. And Tennessee now with its largest advantage at 19.
It's hard to say that there's a lot of better teams better than Tennessee Volunteers.
Arkansas is off from downtown. Tennessee taking advantage. Another miss for Joe. Bone under control. The pump fake in the mid-range mastery.
Woo! My goodness, they are clicking on all cylinders.
Hawks call a timeout. Mike Anderson has seen it up once again. Don't forget, coming up Wednesday, our NBA doubleheader tips off in Boston with a big one between Kawhi, the Raptors, and Kyrie and the Celtics. That'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern. Then we take you out to the West Coast. AD and the Pelicans battling Steph Curry and Golden State. Coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and also the ESPN app. The Warriors haven't looked like the Warriors this year, but you know, at some point they will. I mean, right now Denver's the team to beat out West, supposedly.
Well, listen. Stop.
I gave you a lot. I gave you a lot.
Well, no. You said Denver's the team to beat out West. Until Kevin Durant, the Splash Brothers, right, Steph Curry, you know, Klay Thompson, until they leave, Draymond Green, the team to beat out West is the Golden State Warriors, period. Now, with that being said, I'm interested to see how DeMarcus Cousins continues to work in with the Golden State Warriors. You know, we talked about their lack of depth, but we'll see as the season goes on, right? Some questions going on with the Boston Celtics right now. Anytime you have things going on in the locker room, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving possibly leaving, that affects your team in ways that you can't imagine.
Did you hear the crowd last night in Brooklyn? The Celtics lost to the Nets. An impressive finish for Arkansas as Desi Sills with the basket. The crowd started chanting, Kyrie's leaving.
Yeah. Listen, it makes a difference. It's always about the locker room, right?
Bowden sweeps inside. Derek Walker was fouled. He just checked in, 15 in white.
So we talk about Coach Rick Barnes and doing it the right way. A lot of these guys, 2 stars, 3 stars. The question's going to be for Coach Rick Barnes as they continue to move forward. When guys like Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams leave the program, how do you keep it going? Well, the guy at the free throw line, Derek Walker, John Fulkerson, those are the guys that are going to determine if Tennessee basketball continues to keep it going and becomes one of the elite programs like the Blue Bloods that we see all across the country.
They're elite this year. I'm not so sure about next season losing Schofield and Williams. I mean, potentially those are 2 huge losses that any team would struggle to make up. Off the bounce, Osabuoyen was fouled late. Free throws coming up for the Hogs, trailing by 20.
Osabuoyen, high energy guy off the bench that I think Arkansas really needs. Now, obviously, you look at the score and you say they're down 20 points, they need everyone, but he has good length. He's one of the type of guys that can block shots, can get offensive rebounds, can get deflections, the type of things that you need for Arkansas to become a fist. That's the difference right now. There's a lot of quality teams across the country, but no matter who the 5 guys are for Tennessee, they operate not as 5 fingers, but as a fist. And that's what Coach Mike Anderson wants his Arkansas Razorbacks to become.
Approaching 4 to play in our first half. Falls by 18 with Damian Fishback, Roy Philpott. Here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Vols are projected as a 1 seed, according to Joe Lunardi, our ESPN bracketologist. That's one of the reasons why. One of many is Jordan Bowden, now in double figures with 11.
Oh, man. Oh, man. If you're the Razorbacks right now, you got to just forget about the score right now. This Tennessee team, night in, night out, continues to display that they're not just a good team, but that they're getting better.
Lost this season against Kansas in overtime. Straight away is Isaiah Joe. Joe now with 11. He's 3 of 7 from downtown. And Williams, methodical drive. Draws the contact. Free throws coming up when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Campbell's Chunky, soup that eats like a meal, and Ally Bank. Do it right.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The visionary Lexus NX.
Lease the 2019 NX 300 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
For decades, banks have been getting away with it. Charging you excess fees, making you wait in line, keeping billions of dollars of your interest. They've been treating you like you're lucky to have them. That's not right. Show them who's the boss of your money. You. Better is out there. Ally. Do it right.
A dazzling place I never knew. A new, fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. Let me share this whole new world with you.
Mom and Dad got a new car. It's not theirs, it's mine.
The RX 350L with 3 rows for up to 7 passengers.
Lease the 2019 RX 350 for $449 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Falls by 18, 3:11 remaining in our first half. Welcome back to Knoxville, Tennessee. Damian Fishback, Roy Philpott, as we take a look at the Capital One fan vote. To vote, go to facebook.com/SportsCenter. And our question tonight, who's the #1 challenger outside of the ACC to the Duke Blue Devils. You got the Zags, the Wolverines, Michigan State, and these Tennessee Volunteers. You tell me.
Well, listen, first of all, we cannot forget about the Zags because Mark Few and Gonzaga did everything to challenge themselves in the non-conference schedule without a couple of their better players, right? And so now that they're working them back into the system, the finished product that they will be at the end of the year is going to be dangerous. But Michigan, I think, is their best competitor. I mean, when you look at the point guard players, Xavier Simpson, the ability to score, Matthews and Jordan Poole, their versatility. We always talk about getting Iggy with it, but I think John Teske is the key to their entire team. Matter of fact, if I was going against Michigan, I would be trying to get him out of the game. I think he does so much, the way he defends, the way he rebounds, his ability to step out. Michigan is the biggest competitor.
Williams with 8, go along with 3 rebounds. Here comes Arkansas, trailing by 19. Go to facebook.com/SportsCenter to cast your vote. I would love to see Tennessee and Duke match up in the NCAA tournament. And I say that because you got the veteran experience of this team versus the youth and talent of the Duke Blue Devils. And you see right now in the ESPN Power Rankings, Tennessee ranked 2nd, Duke after the loss last night, now 4th. That's the matchup I want to see.
Sure. Well, listen, when you think about big grown men inside, right? Zion Williamson going against Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams. But you think about the ancillary players. That's what I mean when I say Jack White and Laurier. Those are the guys that you have to see how they would respond in a game like a Tennessee game.
The foul goes against Gafford. That's going to be his 3rd. So the foul's mounting up for the Hogs here in our first half. And Gafford, preseason All-SEC. Only a sophomore with work to do. Mike Anderson wisely will sit him on the bench, likely for the remaining portion of this first half.
For young players, Roy, the importance of the charity stripe. We talk about Grant Williams and his ability to possibly be the first SEC player back-to-back since Corliss Williamson. Arkansas fans will know that. 30% of his scoring this season has come from the free throw line.
Harris off the mark. Saboyan was fouled from behind on the putback attempt. Well, it really is a fun time of year because now the heart of January, conference play has arrived. You start to try to understand who's a contender, who's a pretender. You saw that list. I think Tennessee a contender, Duke a contender, Virginia I'm there. And then there's some other questions. The Zags certainly are going to have something to say about it too.
Well, I like to see teams that, quite frankly, we won't be able to tell just because they may not get challenged on a nightly basis, like a Buffalo, right? Veteran group. Some other teams that may be lower in the poll right now that as they continue to get better throughout the season. I mentioned Auburn as being one of those teams, right? How about Alabama and Lewis? How good can he become? I think there's a lot in the SEC, quite frankly, that as they get better, LSU with their talent level and learn to defend, that could be dangerous come the end of the year.
Alabama's got to find a way to beat Texas A&M first.
Alabama ran into a buzzsaw against Texas A&M and Georgia State where they got beat on buzzer beaters, but where they kind of dominated most of the game. Great win though by Billy Kennedy.
Hand off to Bailey. The shot will not count. A shot clock violation. 11 turnovers for the Razorbacks in our first half.
Yeah. Tough when you're on the road right now. For Coach Mike Anderson, he's been here before. Listen, Coach Barnes has been here before, right? When a lot of these guys were younger, they were dealing with some of these bumps and bruises that the Razorbacks are dealing with now.
An open look, Turner from the wing. 53 on the board already for Big Orange. And a timeout on the floor. Rick Barnes will talk things over to close down this first half, which is happening, by the way, in impressive fashion.
Well, and you talk about the big ball movement. All of that was caused because the team was focusing on Grant Williams. That's why when you have inside presence, there was 2-3 guys over there focused on Grant Williams. And candidly, Mason Jones had a much longer closeout because of the inside presence that Grant Williams gives you.
And coming up on the E-Trade halftime report, Duke without Jones. Of course, a point guard went down last night. Trey Jones out for the Blue Devils. For the immediate future and a road test for Kentucky tonight at Georgia. All that much more headed your way in the E-Trade halftime report.
And Tyus battled last night. I think a tremendous game. And so even though Duke had 2 of their guys out, I think we have to give credit to Coach Boeheim and Syracuse for going on the road in a hostile environment. Anytime that Coach K's on the sidelines and you win in Cameron Indoor, it's a quality win.
Jones. Harris. The athleticism couldn't connect. Another opportunity for the Hawks, and this time Mason Jones the basket.
Love that tenacity. Good battle, right? That's what you look for when you're on the road. Forget about the score right now. You just continue to battle every possession, every play. Like Coach Anderson said, this is an opportunity for his Razorbacks to get better.
I think Williams wants to show that that three-point shot is there. There were a lot of NBA scouts on hand for practice yesterday. Also for the shoot-around this morning, and again at the game tonight. He's made 9 3-pointers this year. The shot's there, and that time took 1 step too many.
Like he said earlier, they are not perfect. There are a lot of people that would love to have what he has and what he has built on that sideline.
Under a minute to play here in Knoxville, 53-32. Jones a bright spot for the Razorbacks. He's got 7. Isaiah Joe with 11. This first half has been dominated by UT. And inside Williams. Chance for 3 the hard way.
So good, so crafty. And Coach Anderson said he reminds him of Corliss Williamson because once he gets you right there on that block, you are in jail and have a right to remain silent. So strong, so tough. He's worked on his body. 6'7", 236 pounds. I question that weight a little bit. Looks bigger and stronger than 236.
Basket did not count, so 2 free throws. Tennessee in the double bonus. Foul was on the floor. Well, he's done a great job reshaping his physique since stepping foot on campus. Grant Williams.
The question for the next level is going to be his mobility. He's heavy in his lower body, which is what is a strength that allows him to post up and dominate in that paint area. The question is who you're going to guard at the next level, and so that's where he'll just continue to work on his mobility and his quickness, but I think he certainly can play at the next level.
What position in the NBA potentially?
Well, the good news for him is the NBA is going to a positionless game, Roy. You didn't like that answer, did you?
I knew that's what you were going to say. We don't have enough time to get into that here at the end of the first half.
Well, for the Razorbacks, they need some type of momentum going into the half here.
It's been a struggle in the opening tip. Basket by Harris. And 55-34, our halftime score here in Knoxville. And the most points scored by the Vols this season in the first half. 55, the double nickel, 20 minutes in. An impressive start for the nation's #3 team. Now, coming up after this commercial break, stay tuned for the halftime report with Adnan Burke, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Will.
Friends, they're a lot like salsa. Each one's unique in their own way. Hot, mild, cheesy, and garlic.
I thought it was a costume party.
Get together already. With Tostitos.
One of these tax prep services lets more people file for free. Is it TurboTax or H&R Block Online? We may never know. More people can file free with H&R Block Online. Block has your back.
Anna, do you have those plans?
Yes. I just wanted to show you something I've been James R. & Associates, Anna speaking. James R. & Associates, Anna. Baker Architects, this is Anna Baker.
At Northwestern Mutual, this is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow is important, but you're ready to bet on yourself today. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
Introducing the all-new Lexus ES. Every curve, every innovation, every feeling. A product of mastery.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $399 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
With Expedia, I saved when I added a hotel to our flight. So even when she grows up, she'll never outgrow the memory of our adventure.
Unlock savings when you add select hotels to your existing trip. Only with Expedia.
Saturday night. It's champion versus champion. TJ Dillashaw versus Henry Cejudo.
Saturday night is UFC Fight Night, live on ESPN Plus at 10 East.
Get great deals on great gear at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's Cabin Fever sale. Like savings of 25% on XPS and Cabela's tackle bags. And save $20 on this Bass Pro tin bearing spinning combo. Your adventure starts here.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is your rental counter. And this is you, already on the road. With Turo, this is compact, standard, and full size. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Get great deals on great gear at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's Cabin Fever sale. Like savings of 33% or more on select men's and ladies' tops and bottoms. And new price breaks on select national brand outerwear for the family.
Welcome to the E-Trade Halftime Report.
Well, right now, Tennessee putting on a show. Jordan Bolden among many for Tennessee as they've won 10 straight games coming in, 17 straight at home, dating back to last season, a healthy 55-34 lead over Arkansas. Jay Williams, Coach Seth Greenberg, I'm Adnan Burke. He's put a little lean into it right now. Exactly. Striking a pose. Seriously, how good is this Vols team right now, Coach?
They're Final Four national championship good.
Yes.
They've got depth in their backcourt, and they have two guys no one else has. Admiral Schofield and Grant Williams are grown men.
For a team that lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament, I love that they play with a chip on their shoulder. Like, they're top three, but they play like they were projected to finish at the bottom of the SEC.
So you want me not
and
to
he
go
may
off
not
it?
like this, but I just
know
like
you
the
love
edge.
the gator chomp.
This, when they did that, come on, they all did it in unison at all the Florida fans.
That sounds great, but you know what? They're better than Florida. They need to just go and win the game.
That's how they play with the chip on their shoulder. I like it.
Is that still in your shirt?
It's always there.
There's a lot of passion there.
I like
I
it.
understand
I like
Jay Wills'
it.
point.
Sorry.
And it's a kinder, gentler Rick Barnes as well. All right, Kentucky and Georgia. This game's over on ESPN early in the first half. William Jackson Jr. to Tarek O'Begday.
Yeah, and I thought Kentucky's half-court defense didn't have great discipline. They ran Georgia off the three-point line, but they gave up too many inside scoring opportunities.
And Georgia at this point taking the lead.
We used to have this rule in college. It's like, hey, they're not going to get any dunks on us. That's where you start questioning the toughness sometimes for Kentucky.
Yeah, UB Brown rule for Julius Erving. Who was he?
PJ Washington for three, and then here's Higgins with the layup.
And Higgins has been so good for this team at the point of attack defensively. Just his quick hands. He's one of the best on-ball defenders in the game.
The Trey Jones of Kentucky. He dominates the ball at the point of attack. He doesn't defend. He disrupts.
No domination right now as the Wildcats have a 4-point lead against Tom Crean's team. Also, Mississippi State hosting Florida. First half, Lamar Peters knocking down the corner.
This is a huge game for Mississippi State. They're 0-2 in the SEC. Lamar Peters, as good as any ball guard in college basketball.
And Peters here pulling up in transition, burying the triple.
I mean, just catch and shoot. Right? Sometimes when you got it going, you got it going.
And then got it going, I guess.
What a breakdown.
That's
what we paid Jay Williams.
That's a breakdown of the day, ladies and
That
gentlemen.
dude is a ball guard that can break it down, and Quandary Witherspoon and Nick Witherspoon compliment him. Mississippi State's good, but they've got to win at home.
And right now, a 1-point game.
Not Tennessee good, though. Not Tennessee good. I'll say that now.
Gators up 4. That game's on the SEC Network. Also, Buffalo and Western Michigan. This is Nick Perkins knocking down the triple.
This is when Buffalo's at their best in transition, whether it's Perkins, C.J. Massenberg. Right now, Western Michigan's done a nice job of controlling the tempo of the game.
You mentioned Massenberg, the alley-oop there to Montel McRae, and that's Jared Printy for 3.
Yeah, look, you're always going to take battles in conference, but Buffalo is still the cream of the crop in this conference. And when they get hot offensively, they are a scary team.
That was Josh Davis for 3, then Jeremy Harris as well.
Are they the Duke of the MAC?
But we don't always have to compare everybody to Duke.
I'm just asking. It was a question.
It's a good
Ask
comp, though.
question with a question.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
It's a rhetorical question.
Not happy. Konate not playing. TCU very good, especially when Jalen Fisher is healthy.
Just getting hammered right now, the Mountaineers are against the Horned Frogs. All right. Coming up on ESPN just about an hour from now, Cam Johnson shooting 47% from three. Second in the ACC. You got the Fighting Irish and the Tar Heels. Trey Jones down for Duke, but obviously the Blue Devils are not out. How do they adjust in time for Virginia Saturday? The boys will tell you next.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade, the original place to invest online.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The visionary Lexus NX.
Lease the 2019 NX 300 for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everybody was going nuts. I was losing in the 10th frame. Had to get 3 strikes in a row in order to try to win it.
Wait, you never played for the Bucks?
What?
Wow. Don't worry, I can help with this.
Bosch Icon windshield wipers. The calm in the storm.
When Domino's is out for delivery, use Domino's new dinner bell to get the family home.
Sorry. 8 atoms of hydrogen. You're never going to use this anyway. I gotta go.
Ring the dinner bell and they'll come running for their mix and match favorites. Choose any 2 or more like bread twists, specialty chicken, pizza, or salads for only $5.99 each.
Remember that degree you got in taxation? Of course you don't, because you didn't. Your job isn't doing hard work. It's making them do hard work and getting paid for it.
Snap and sort your expenses to save over $4,600 at tax time. QuickBooks, backing you.
We know some resolutions are easier to keep than others. We know what's around the corner is always worth the trip. We know the only thing better than the last adventure is the next one. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, where incredible selection, great people, and an experience like no other all come together.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade, the original place to invest online.
The brand new ESPN app, now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now.
You're watching the E-Trade halftime report on Super Tuesday. Joe Williams, Seth Greenberg, Ahmad Namburk. Duke Blue Devils, #1 team, a first time ever in their storied history. They lose to an unranked team at home as the #1. That was against Syracuse Orange. And to make matters worse here, fellas, they lose Trey Jones as well. He went down in this game against the Orange, wasn't able to compete. And now the news is he's out indefinitely with an AC joint separation. Duke has a huge game coming up against Virginia and now have to do battle without Jones. It's a real contrast in styles for Saturday's game. Duke likes to play fast, averaging 14.7 seconds per possession, 11th fastest in D1. As for Virginia, averaging 20.2 seconds per possession, 3rd slowest in the country. So, Coach, what's it mean for Duke?
It means for Duke, look, when you think about Trey Jones, you think about his defense, his ability to defend and disrupt. But I also think about his ability to make the game easier for others. Think about this. This is on a made shot. Gets an outlet pass, head up, advanced passes, and where is R.J. Barrett is best? In transition, attacking, and finishing. And then in the half court, with the ball in Trey Jones' hands, what is Barrett able to do? Play off the ball, come off bumps off the baseline. His ability to use his size, his strength, his ability to slash and get to the basket, all right, without Trey Jones, all of a sudden you're taking away those scoring opportunities if you put R.J. Barrett at the point.
I don't even know what an AC joint separation is. Like, what's a timeline on that? Because I think, look, Trey Jones will be healthy enough to come
on,
back.
Marcus Belton,
inevitably,
figure it out.
A couple months, maybe.
They come back inevitably. But I think this just requires, guys to do a little bit more in their roles. And nobody's going to feel sorry for Duke. They still have potentially the first and second pick in the 2019 NBA draft. And then Cam Reddish found his stroke against Florida State. So, look, I think it's going to come down to half-court execution against UVA. Because UVA doesn't turn the ball over, which is how we know Duke loves to create a lot of points in transition. So who's going to be the guy to make the plays easier for everybody in the half court? And I think that the only facilitator on the floor is R.J. Barrett. I think he has to be the guy that has other responsibilities of scoring the ball as well.
See, I don't see that because one thing about R.J. Barrett's always on the basketball, that pack line defense is going to shrink in gaps and take away driving lanes. To me, what they need to do is they need to take Jordan Goldwire or Alex O'Connell, put the ball in their hands, and then let R.J. Barrett and everyone else, their role remains the same. And now all of a sudden, those guys are playing to their strengths. R.J. Barrett's running the floor. He's playing off the bumps on the baseline. And look, you're playing Virginia. They're not turning you over. They're not pressuring you. They're not denying you.
I didn't mean that R.J. Barrett has to have the ball in his hands all the time. But look, James Harden sometimes lets Eric Gordon or somebody else bring up the ball. But then once the ball hits his hands in the half court, like it's going to be time for him to go to work, and he's going to have to make plays. But that's what UVA is great at defensively. That's why it's going to be a difficult game.
James Harden, R.J. Barrett, they're both lefties.
That is true.
There's more than just being lefties.
Listen, after Saturday's game, Duke's playing 5 straight games against unranked opponents. The schedule will be easier. Always
he just
easier
sits on stuff
working
the
with
whole
these
show.
guys. All right, you're watching the E-Trade halftime report.
Do your thing. Fulfill. Realize. Love. Not like. Be extraordinary. Turn off the highway and soar. Spread your wings and experience the Mazda 6 with signature trim and turbo. Mazda. Feel alive.
Dave & Buster's gives you half-price games every Sunday through Thursday from 9 p.m. to close. Half-off games after 9 o'clock for a limited time. Only at Dave & Buster's.
The Fix Finder tool from AutoZone is a fast source of relief. It tells you what's the most likely fix for your engine light on the spot. For her, a gas cap. For them, new spark plugs. Need a repair shop? We can help with that too. So, how will the AutoZone Fix Finder help you?
The 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship is headed to New Orleans, Louisiana on Saturday, March 23rd, where the elite student athletes in the country will compete for the SEC Gymnastics Championship title. We'll see you in the Big Easy at Smoothie King Center on March 23rd. For more information and to purchase your tickets, visit secsports.com. SEC Gymnastics. It just means more.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly, and that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your mask, hose, and reservoir.
I don't have to push a button or anything. I just put the mask in the chamber, close the lid, and it runs automatically. SoClean has been a lifesaver.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-4916 to take advantage of this limited-time offer.
I would recommend the SoClean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-436-4916 or go to SoClean.com.
Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by Boost Mobile here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Mutt's Gone Nuts performing at halftime moments ago. And a double nickel on display for the nation's #3 team, Tennessee, all over Arkansas. He's Damian, I'm Roy. Welcome back courtside. And I tell you what, that first 20 minutes, Tennessee looked like they're the best team in the country.
I don't think you'd have anyone that would argue with the fact that Tennessee could be the #1 team in the country. And that happened with Admiral Schofield playing 6 minutes, right? He went out after the flagrant foul, so that was his second personal foul. This is so impressive to me. You know, I can't say enough about Coach Rick Barnes and the job that he's done, the culture that he has built in such a short time. And that's what you see with a lot of those other teams that are in the top 5, top 10, from Duke to Virginia. Virginia, obviously, their defense undefeated. Michigan undefeated. They'll be challenged at the top of both of those conferences. I don't know if the bottom of those conferences are as good. Now, the Big Ten is deep. They're very deep. Gonzaga, though, I'm interested to see how they're going to continue to perform as the season goes on, because they challenge themselves out of non-conference. How much can they be challenged in the West Coast Conference? That's the question.
Well, the questions for the balls being answered tonight, if there were any. Think about this. Tennessee shot 50% from the floor in the first half. That's actually below their season average at 52%.
Wow.
And yet here we are with 55 on the board, a season high for the first 20 minutes. A good start for Daniel Gafford with the basket.
They went back inside where the bread is buttered. Now, they have to get some stops. And now, let's see if we see a little change. It looks like we've seen our first sign of a zone defense. It's a 2-3 zone. They started out with a 1-1-3 that went back into the 2-3. So they're trying to match up out of this zone right now.
Gafford with 8 points. He does have the 3 fouls. Back to work for Williams. Great vision for Schofield. Count it.
He leads the team in threes this year. You talk about someone who has worked on his craft. Admiral Schofield, the key, and as well as the bench and points off of turnovers being the key for Tennessee in that first half.
Williams leads the SEC in scoring. Schofield is second in the conference in that same department. Too strong for Joe. The board to Williams. Here comes Tennessee. Schofield!
I think I saw that exact same play in the Florida game. He is running the floor.
Jones on the other end is short. Schofield hit the deck, the foul against the Razorbacks. Well, this is one way to get 5 and white going, is it not?
These scouts will love this, right? Number 1, the ability to knock down the trifecta from outside. You've got to get there fast, and then running the floor. We showed you the finish, but for young people at home, he doesn't get that dunk unless he takes off those first 1 or 2 steps to explode on the fast break to get himself out and above the Razorbacks.
Well, he hit that big 3-pointer at Florida this weekend to seal the deal in Gainesville in the comeback win. Preseason all-conference second team this year. And the score tells the story here in Knoxville.
And Roy, remember that Florida team hadn't allowed too many teams. I think the only other team they allowed in the 70s was Florida State early in the season. So that shows you how talented offensively this Tennessee team is this year.
Ball's looking to make a statement. Third in the country. Duke lost last night, a chance to move up in the AP poll next week. Tennessee will get Alabama at home this Saturday. Jones a strong finish on the reverse.
Well, and that's what you have to do against solid defensive teams. You got to try to score early.
We'll check out the ball movement. Now Bone attacking. Now we've seen Rick Barnes go to the lineup where he brings in Lamonte Turner, Jordan Bowden off the bench to complement Bone along with Schofield and Williams. And it was interesting to hear Schofield and Williams talk about the fact that Turner's now healthy. So you put those 5 on the floor, we're deadly after that Florida win.
Agreed. And what makes Tennessee deadly is because they have different pieces that bring different talent to the table. Lamonte Turner shoots it a little bit better. He takes a few more risks. Where I think they have to continue to improve is actually on the defensive end. That's where the nod goes to Virginia and Michigan. Defensively, they're at a much higher level right now.
Alexander hacked inside. Well, Barnes also said about Turner, he's got a chance to be one of the best defensive guards in the country. Again, now that he's healthy, so perhaps that component is coming. Reggie Chaney just picked up his 4th personal as you see Turner on the bench. Pass to Pons will be picked off by Harris. Strong finish. Now the future bright for Jalen Harris, just a sophomore.
Well, number one, I like how he challenged Pons again. Number two, though, most importantly, that's the Razorback style that we're accustomed to. That's what I expected to see more of. You can't lay back and allow Tennessee to be comfortable. You have to make them uncomfortable in order to challenge them and get out into the fast break.
Schofield, 1-on-2. Strong finish.
Tough. You know, people hear tough, they think about fighting or maybe, you know, pushing guys around. Toughness is mental and physical toughness. Getting a bang here or there, not allowing it to affect the way you finish your shot. That's what Admiral Schofield showed.
He's got 7 points in 3 minutes after being held scoreless in the first half.
After practice yesterday, Schofield and Grant Williams continue to work on their craft. I don't care what you're doing, what you're trying to do to be successful, you've got to put in work, Roy, and that's what Tennessee realizes. They were talking about it yesterday. Ray Allen, guys like Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, that put in work before they played their NBA game. This doesn't just happen overnight for these guys. Their work is now paying dividends.
Foul win against Mason Jones, his second. Williams wants the bucket.
Well, and this is what I think really makes Grant Williams special, is he has phone booth type of game. It doesn't take him a lot of space. Admiral Schofield the same way. He didn't make a move, just a jab step, and I'm going up and over you. Efficient basketball.
Schofield with 9 in the second half. As Arkansas turns it over once again. Hawks with 12 miscues on the offensive end.
Both of those players realize their game, and for Coach Mike Anderson, I don't know if you'll play a more challenging game than you'll play tonight. Right now, we don't know how the year is going to finish, but right now, as deep as the SEC is, Tennessee is still head and shoulders above the rest of the league.
Now, some perspective, too. Arkansas with 5 losses, as we mentioned in the first half. All of those defeats came by a close margin.
Yeah,
an average of just 3.8 points. So the fact that Tennessee is doing this tonight speaks volumes, A, about how good they are.
Right.
And I forget what B was going to be.
Well, B, about how challenging the road can be for a young team in Arkansas.
Sure. I like how you put that.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Here's a steal. Jones works Bone and Williams, can't connect, but Harris is there for the flush.
Still a long game, and particularly for the style that Arkansas plays. Now, the fact that Arkansas is not really pressuring, number one, they're not scoring a lot to pressure, but number two, shows you the respect that Coach Anderson has for this volunteer team.
Williams lost the handle out of bounds. Alexander turns it over. Now, speaking of turnovers, you want to know what it's like to play basketball for Rick Barnes at UT? Damian Fishback's going to turn it over in front of the coach. We'll explain.
How do you win at business? Stay at La Quinta, where we're changing with stylish makeovers. And remember, when the big cheese enters, be the button pusher, because leaders know the right buttons to push. Start winning today. Book now at lq.com.
There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park, even extra time with your family in the park. And now you can save up to 30% on rooms at select Walt Disney World Resort hotels. So if you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
Welcome to my store. It's one not bound by walls or limited by inventory or restricted by time. The only rule here is to untether your imagination and unleash it on the world. You won't believe what's in store.
Rated E to
My name is Jetta, and my favorite thing about the Grilled Chicken Club is the multigrain bun. It's toasted, and then you get the cheese. So if you bite really slowly, you can literally taste every level of the sandwich. I don't eat very slowly, but if you do.
My name is Leslie. Well, I love the Grilled Chicken Club sandwich because the grilled chicken, like it's actually been on a grill. As soon as you grab it to go take your first bite, it's just like insanely good.
Mom and Dad got a new car. It's not theirs, it's mine.
The RX 350L with 3 rows for up to 7 passengers.
Lease the 2019 RX 350 for $449 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Back in Knoxville, Tennessee, you're watching the SEC on ESPN. So, Damian Fishback, you want to know what it's like to play basketball for Rick Barnes. What happens when you turn it over?
Listen, and Roy, you're exemplifying how Coach Rick Barnes is in practice. He doesn't want any back talk. You turn it over, you're going to the Versa Climber. That's right. And you're there over there. That's the strength and conditioning coach there, Garrett Maidenwall, who is one of the best in the nation. I'm telling you, you see the physique of a lot of the Tennessee players. He's one of the reasons why, along with their work. Matter of fact, that Versa Climber, they're supposed to do, how many was it?
180.
180. There he is right there. You see the muscles coming out of his suit there. 180 in a minute. I did about 30 and was about to die.
You did about 8, and you were pouring sweat. Facts.
But you got to wait for that one. But I'm telling you, that's part of the culture that Coach Rick Barnes has set here at Tennessee. There's no excuses. Right? When you make a mistake, there's going to be a price that you have to pay, and they do that all throughout their practices.
If I'm playing basketball for Rick Barnes, I'm not going to gain a pound. I'm going to lose weight because all I'm going to do is turn it over in practice because I'm scared I got to go to the Versa Climber.
Well, now, let me make sure that it's clear. We did that turnover for the camera. The handles are still intact, Roy. You need to know that.
From what I saw today,
come on now.
Nothing could be further from the truth. Just keeping it real.
You don't call me out like that. That's cold, man. I thought we were better than that, boy.
Hogs back to work. 5 minutes into our second half. Tennessee by 22.
I was actually trying to dribble when I turned it over, man. So you told the truth.
That was a real turnover. A live ball turnover. And Williams may have forced another one here. And don't forget, coming up Saturday, an important day on the ESPN networks. And an NBA doubleheader on ABC starting at 3:30. Jimmy Butler with the Sixers has been an interesting acquisition. Of course, the Sonic blockbuster between Duke and Virginia. Lakers Rockets later on in the night. UFC, of course, now on ESPN2 as a lot of people talking. Schofield red hot.
Yeah, red hot, as will be Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome for Virginia. We'll see how they go against that Duke defense. Admiral Schofield is such a tremendous story. You know, when Schofield gets in the open break now, remember when he got on campus, 265 pounds, about 9% body fat. Now, I don't know what he is now, but he's nowhere close to that. He has worked on his body. He's worked on his craft. He said, I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to eat right, get more sleep, spend hours in the gym, get up 500 shots a day. So he shows you an example for young players that you can get where you want to be if you're willing to put in the work.
Jordan Bowden checking back in for Tennessee. Schofield with 12 in the second half, make it 14.
Bucket getter. That's another reason why I like Tennessee, to have an opportunity to win it all. You have to have a guy who wants the basketball with the game on the line. And Grant Williams said after that Florida game, I know Schofield likes to take and make big shots as he did against Gonzaga.
So my question is exactly that. In your estimation, is it Grant Williams, is it Schofield, or is it a player like Jordan Bowden coming off the bench who just seems to get on these incredible runs?
I think it depends on the time and scenario. But when the game's on the line, I think you run the play through Williams, and I think it ends up in Schofield's hand most of the time.
Emery Simpson, the triple. 69-45. Well, a great problem to have if you're Rick Barnes, I suppose. Who's going to be your guy in clutch situations? Bowden off the pump fake. Why not? 14 for Jordan Bowden. Tennessee's on pace to score about 250 points tonight.
Against an Arkansas team that actually came into this game second in the league in scoring defense, holding teams to 39%.
Here's Chaney with 4 personals, and he connects. Turner gives it right back, 2-on-1. Harris. And it's been that kind of night for the Hogs.
Well, what you're excited about if you're Coach Anderson is you didn't turn it over. And you got a 3-pointer instead. That worked out well for Razorback fans.
Isaiah Joe, the top 3-point specialist in the SEC. He's got 14. The lead is 22. When you think about the SEC this year, a lot of people surprised with Kermit Davis and Ole Miss and the run that they're currently on.
Not I said the fish back, but proceed.
Ranked inside the top 20. An impressive win on the road at Mississippi State last weekend. Not to mention a home victory against Auburn. You think about Kentucky and what they're doing to Georgia right now over on ESPN. Big Blue's going to be there at the end. You've got Tennessee, Auburn, and Bruce Pearl going to have something to say about the race. They were co-champs last year in the regular season.
Well, and obviously Tennessee fans know Coach Bruce Pearl well. You think about what he's done. Best league in non-conference over the past 3 years. So he didn't just change the program for a year. He has built something now. And you think about their losses on the road against ranked teams for the most part. They still have a huge opportunity against Kentucky, where I know it'll be one of the toughest places to play in the country.
How about some love for South Carolina, the job Frank Martin's done? 3-0 in the league. They get Vanderbilt tomorrow night. And nobody really saw that coming.
I did not see that coming, but they had so many injuries, right? You think about the concussions with Coach Sarr. Bottom line is, if Frank Martin is in the building, they have a puncher's chance. He was a bouncer, you know.
Bailey with 5 for the baseline jab. Just never know. That's what makes this time of year so great. Bowden again, and it's all net.
Are you kidding me? That looks simple, but so unselfish. They make the right pass at the right time. That's culture. That's Rick Barnes.
Hawks have been stymied offensively this evening. Arkansas's won 6 of the last 7 between these two in the regular season. Alexander says not tonight, but a foul call. It'll be free throws when we come back. And you talk about the Versa climber. Damian Fishback, how many can we do? 2, 3. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, wow. You two are going to have such a great trip.
Yeah, have fun.
Thanks to you, we will. Aw, stop.
This is why Voya helps reach today's goals.
All while helping you to and through retirement.
You guys are just going for a week, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you help with these?
Oh, we're more of the plan, invest, and protect kind of help.
Sorry, little pause.
Right.
So, but have fun.
Send a postcard. Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
The Agent League uniforms are in.
Why is the number so high?
There's over 19,000 State Farm agents. I wanted number 13,171, but Ty from Sioux Falls is in town, and he called dibs.
What's up, buddy? Ty can't shoot. No, you're fine.
What makes DiGiorno Crispy Pan Pizza different than delivery?
You bake it fresh in its own pan, giving our DiGiorno pizza a crispy, caramelized crust. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Friends, they're a lot like salsa. Each one's unique in their own way. Hot, mild, cheesy, and garlic.
I thought it was a costume party.
Get together already with Tostitos.
Land Rover, above and beyond. Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
Nan Burke alongside Seth Greenberg, checking out what's happening in Kentucky, Georgia on ESPN. Here's E.J. Montgomery with the alley-oop.
Terrific pass, Sebastian Hagens, and John Calipari's developing his front court. E.J. Montgomery giving him quality minutes.
We're always developing here, Roy.
Adnan, no question about it. Hagens also with 19 as Kentucky leads Georgia. And we got a star emerging here in our second half. Admiral Schofield. Damian Fishback, he's got 14 points, all coming in the last 8.5 minutes.
Well, you listen, you get a couple of fouls, you're out the first half, and you're scoreless. What do? Come in the second half and score 14 points in 15 minutes, 6 of 8. So efficient from the field. He does it as easy as anyone that I've seen, which is the reason why when you have so many weapons like Schofield, like Grant Williams, you have to look at one of these teams or this team as the leading team in the SEC.
Take a look at the SEC standings. Gamecocks defeated Missouri on Sunday. They now have improved to 3-0. You're high on LSU. Will Wade's done a great job recruiting and bringing in talent down in the Bayou. And a respectable 12-3 record so far.
Yeah, I think their talent level, their toughness is at the height. And then they have the same thing that a lot of teams have in this league, which is a quality point guard in Tremont Waters. You look at T.J. Starks, Kyron Lewis, Jared Harper, so many quality point guards in this league. We got one today right there in Jordan Bone. If you talk about teams having the ability to advance in postseason play, it starts at the quarterback or point guard position. A lot of teams in this league have that.
Vols have hit their last 4 shots from the floor. And have led throughout. If you're just tuning in, Monte Turner led the charge in the first half with 14. Admiral Schofield has poured in 14 in the second half. And the Hogs have struggled from downtown as Osaboya just picked up his 4th.
Monte Turner is one of those guys on this team that actually pushes the line a little bit with Coach Barnes, but he handles the pushback. That's why I love him for this basketball team.
Now coming up after Georgia and Kentucky over on ESPN, 9 o'clock Eastern, to the Dean Dome will take you. Number 13 UNC, Notre Dame's in town, live from Chapel Hill. And of course, you can watch it as well on the ESPN app. Super Tuesday continues, presented by Boost Mobile.
This game will actually give me, help me get my arms around Coach Mike Brey and Notre Dame a little bit better, how they perform, because I know that North Carolina is going to come out scratching and clawing in this game.
Here comes Turner.
Okay, young fella. Still got some bounce left in those legs. Mr. Turner.
Was the Co-6 Man of the Year last season in the SEC. Mentioned those shoulder injuries he's been battling. Missed 9 games so far this year.
Well, this has been the story, Roy. The turnovers, right? On the night, 15 turnovers by Arkansas, led to 30 points for Tennessee. You just can't afford to turn over the basketball against quality teams.
Spin by Jones. Mason Jones scored 30 against the Gators last week in a home loss. Have a couple of free throws. Foul goes against Bowden, his second.
You know, Roy, when Tennessee won their first 2 games, it was by an average of 35 points
in the league.
In the league. First time that a team's opened up like that in the league in 20 years, was it? And so you have to wonder if this performance continues tonight, just how good this Tennessee team can be. I mean, historically, right? Now, they're going to get challenged. One of the reasons why I love this league is because of the coaches. You got 5 Final Four coaches in this league, and they're surrounded by a lot of coaches that have been to the Elite 8, the Sweet 16. So they'll still be challenged, but I am surprised at the score of this basketball game.
80-54. Ten and a half to play. Now the coaching certainly has improved. Keep in mind, Mike Anderson won a national championship as an assistant coach at Arkansas back in 1994. That team led by the great Corliss Williamson. Grant Williams has a chance to do this year what Williamson did back then, and that's claim SEC Player of the Year honors in consecutive seasons.
Yeah, his most competition might be by Admiral Schofield. And here's the Final Four experience we were talking about. 5 coaches. And one thing that I can say about these 5 Final Four coaches from my interactions with them is the humility that they all display. And Howland loves being in Starkville. They appreciate him so much. We've already talked about Coach Rick Barnes. Coach Frank Martin, a fighter, but the humility he shows. Coach Cal, who carried the torch for this league before that changing of the coaches occurred. And then Tom Crean had a chance to see him practice. You know, so excited to be at Georgia. Obviously used to be on the sidelines with us at ESPN. The coaches, what I think is really what sets this league apart.
Tom Crean needs to make an energy drink, bottle it, and sell it. Because I would be the first in line to buy it. Gabe Osaboyan just fouled out. And that'll put Alexander at the line. 8 points tonight, 4 rebounds, make it 9. What's the weakness for Tennessee? We're lumping the praise on play after play. It's Mike Anderson, I believe, just picked up a technical foul. And he's frustrated. He talked to us this morning. He said, look, this is a big challenge. We're going to be a different team in just a few weeks than what we are today. Let's find out where we are later tonight. He's a little frustrated. His team has missed some shots. They've been outmatched so far by the Vols.
Well, let's be frank about what Coach Anderson lost last year. I mean, you talk about Daryl Macon, who I believe just got called up by the Mavericks. You got Jalen Barford, who's averaging 20 points a game in the G League. I mean, he lost 6 of his top 7 scores. So let me tell you this, Razorback fans, it could be much worse than this in a league that is as good as it's probably been outside of last year. You see what he's lost. I mean, 0.1% from the threes is what he returned. And so the fact that they played the schedule, they played against Texas and Western Kentucky knocked off Wisconsin, and the way they're playing in the league this year, where they're at is outstanding in my opinion.
Embry Simpson fouled on the floor. So took the elbow right to the chops.
You have to wonder, knowing Mike Anderson, remember, JUCO guy that actually recruits a lot of JUCO guys. He's a fighter. And so you have to wonder if he maybe got that as inspiration for his team. I'm fighting for you. Don't you lay down here on the road in a hostile environment. Do not quit.
Bailey the finish at the rim. He's got 7. 84-57. Damian Fishback, Roy Philpott here in Knoxville. Vols will tangle with Alabama at home Saturday afternoon for their next tilt. And Williams attacking Gafford. And both players hit the deck.
That's what I was about to say. Grant Williams is one of those guys where whenever you hit, it's like a car wreck. And he's always going to be the 18-wheeler. He hit Lamonte Turner yesterday in practice, and I thought Turner might have been down for the count. And it was that similar situation. He got fouled by Gafford, but I think Gafford received the worst end of that.
Vols in the double bonus. Grant Williams, such an interesting player on the court, away from basketball. He's a self-proclaimed nerd by his own account. Right. He loves soccer. And he tends to go about things a little differently. But the team really responds. We watch him in practice earlier today, leading certain set plays. The encouragement of Rick Barnes. 33 free throws for Tennessee, and they've connected on 29 of those free throws.
You hear people always talking about no days off. And that's what Tennessee displays, right? That comes from the top, from their CEO and Coach Rick Barnes. But humility, no days off, that's what the staff represents. That's what Tennessee represents.
Alexander just picked up his 4th. That'll put Gafford at the stripe. 8 points tonight for the 4th leading scorer in the SEC. Coming off a game in which he scored a career-high 32. Comeback against LSU that came up short in overtime.
And for Arkansas, we said Daniel Gafford has to be successful in order for Arkansas to be successful. That's the truth, right? Hasn't scored a lot tonight. They've done a tremendous job on him. But Daniel Gafford can't do it by himself. He has to have a committee with him. And so whether that's Isaiah Joe making shots from the perimeter, whether that's Mason Jones being a more consistent scorer, or Harris continue to distribute the ball, I think this is the end they have to do it. Obviously, with 86 points, they've got to defend better, which is always a challenge for high school players or people that were playing high school last year.
Tennessee now shooting a blistering 59% from the field.
Wow.
There's some defense. Harris ahead to Jones.
Arkansas has come back in quite a few of their losses to make it a close game against LSU, where they were down, against Florida, in which they were down. See if they can make a run today.
Schofield a rare miss. Gafford claims the board. Trailing by 26. Mason Jones. In and out. And Gafford was fouled on the court. I mean, at this juncture, trailing by this deficit, certainly the hopes of a comeback slim to none, but you certainly want to close this game strong because you're at Ole Miss next.
Sure.
And the Rebels are currently ranked 18th in the country.
Well, we've seen comebacks in this conference this year. You mentioned South Carolina and the job that Coach Frank Martin has done. Well, what helped them catapult their SEC play was the ability to come back on the road, have that pass to where Silva was able to finish at the rim for a buzzer-beating dunk.
That's the play of the year so far in this conference, as far as I'm concerned. Haase to Silva, essentially a touchdown pass after trailing by 14 in the second half. And you're still undefeated in the league.
Sure.
Right now, going into Vanderbilt tomorrow night.
And beat a good Missouri team, right? Missouri, outstanding team, able to knock out quality opponents early in this year. UCF, he's doing well in the American Conference.
Here's Bone. And Bowden travel.
He would be on the VersaClimber right now. It's that simple, right?
He would be. We wouldn't. Did you have a punishment like that under Cliff Ellis? Your time at Auburn, where you turned it over, if you did something you shouldn't do, you're running the steps.
It was Carl sitting on the bench. That was enough punishment, enough.
That's painful enough. Bowden's got 17. And now 19 after that last layup.
Got to find a way to get it to Gafford when he's got Grant Williams on his back. Another turnover. That should have been a simple pass inside to Daniel Gafford.
4-on-2. Turner left wide open. 3-ball corner pocket. Count it. The largest lead for Tennessee. Call it 30.
Roy, you don't have to have a crystal ball, but anytime you have a turnover on the other end, it's going to lead a basket for your opponent. Beautiful basketball by the Volunteers.
Do your thing. Flee that nest. Seize that moment. Find your inspiration. Be extraordinary. Spread your wings and experience the Mazda CX-5 with new signature trim and turbo. Mazda. Feel alive.
Skechers Work Footwear knows that safety starts with enhanced grip rubber technology. Our water and stain-resistant uppers are perfect for keeping feet dry. With air-cooled memory foam insoles and available in relaxed and wide-fit sizes, nobody does footwear like Skechers.
Free. F-R-E-E. Free.
Free. That's right. TurboTax Free is free. Free.
From a humble start to Olympic gold medalist, Henry Cejudo is a 125-pound kingpin. His next chapter, a 5-round showdown for the title.
Games are won here.
Hold up, let me get up in it now. I'm here to win it.
#1 Duke's relentless attack rocks camera.
When I'm down, had enough.
But undefeated Virginia's D suffocates all pursuits. Whoever owns this wins the night.
Our Sonic blockbuster season continues. Number 4 Virginia, number 1 Duke. Saturday at 6 on ESPN.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Nan Burke back in our college basketball studio. So Kentucky's all over Georgia now after it was a 4-point game at the half. Wildcats are now up with about 2 minutes to go. And Virginia's all over Virginia Tech. And the great Roger Federer, the 6-time Aussie Open champion, 37 years young, as he'll be coming up on ESPN2. Never miss a chance to watch the King. Roy, back to you.
Adnan, thank you very much. Back in Knoxville. Don't forget, coming up later tonight over on ESPN Sports Center, 11 o'clock. After North Carolina, Notre Dame, inside Golden State and Denver. We were talking about in the first half was Jimmy Butler faces his former team, and the T-Wolves, Drew Brees and Tom Brady, a pair of 40-somethings turning back the clock again this season. Sports Center, 11 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
I cannot wait to see that matchup. Listen, this has probably been one of the most exciting finishes that we've seen all, probably what, 2-3 years, you think?
Chaney inside, I would agree, but Brady playing the underdog card this week, that's what I'm not buying. He says everybody thinks we're not very good, whatever. We all know you're great. We all know you're elite. Don't try to play that. Bone comes up short. By the way, off the bench tonight, Lamonte Turner, Jordan Bowden have combined for 40 points, and they're 8 for 8 from behind the three-point arc. It's been an impressive performance for the nation's third-ranked team. Fishbacks coming up.
Introducing the all-new Lexus ES. Every curve, every innovation, every feeling. A product of mastery.
Lease the 2019 ES350 for $399 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Dave & Buster's gives you half-price games every Sunday through Thursday from 9 p.m. to close. Half-off games after 9 o'clock for a limited time. Only at Dave & Buster's.
Know what you're doing right now? Impressing the heck out of me. Also giving the Shih Tzu an updo. Pet care ain't easy. 12 hours, 20 dogs? Where's your belly rubs? After a day of chasing dogs, you shouldn't have to chase down payments.
Send invoices and accept payments to get paid twice as fast.
You deserve a treat, and by a treat, I mean cash. Bacon wrapped cash. Josie, it's time to get yours.
QuickBooks, backing you.
Get great deals on great gear at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's Cabin Fever sale. Like Redhead men's long sleeve pocket tees and Henleys starting at under $10. And save 25% or more on select hunting clothing.
At touchofmodern.com, things you'd never think possible are totally attainable. The shoes are handmade, the furniture glows, the drones fly themselves. And that's just the beginning. Our relentless pursuit of the highest quality in watches, fashion, tech, and home are available all in one place. touchofmodern.com. We bring something new and unexpected to your life every day. So go to touchofmodern.com and be the first to discover all the novel and noteworthy items the world has to offer.
We know some resolutions are easier to keep than others. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
1:02 remaining. Tennessee all over Arkansas. Great to have you with us courtside. Damian Fishback, Roy Philpott, and it's time once again for Fishback. So lay it on me this week. What are we talking about?
No opinions, only facts. The world needs to know that back to the basket basketball is not dead.
Fact.
That's correct. Facts. That's all we're telling you today. Listen, when you look across the country at some of the top teams, and everybody wants to go to the ball screen, and I love that. Golden State, 4 out, 1 in. But you look at the success on the collegiate level. Ethan Happ at Wisconsin, Dedrick Lawson, John Teske, who we talked about earlier, over at Michigan. Nick Ward really continuing to excel with Langford being out. And Zion Williamson, we love the dunks, but the bottom line is back to the basket is not dead.
Fact. I love it.
And obviously, we see that all throughout the SEC. We're seeing it today with Grant Williams, Admiral Schofield, Nebo in the Texas A&M game. His back-to-the-basket game was a key to their success. Reed Travis over at Kentucky, Austin Wiley, the list goes on. Back-to-the-basket basketball is a key to success.
I'm glad you mentioned Austin Wiley because he does give Auburn a different component this year in postseason play. A rim protector and a guy that can get you a bucket inside. They really missed that last year when McLemore went out with the injury. Wiley wasn't playing, and now that he's back on the court, I think that helps Bruce Pearl out in a really big way coming down the stretch.
Coach Bruce Pearl was talking to Austin Wiley, and he said, you know, he's a little frustrated after the Ole Miss game, and he had to remind him, you've only played your 9 road games, right? So you remember he was out for that time, and so when you sit out, you're rusty, but they have so many guys, and particularly that backcourt and Bryce Brown and Jared Harper, but you combine that with the depth. If they can continue to get better and get it back, let's remember they were the co-champs, SEC co-champs with this Tennessee team last year.
Schofield back in. Mid-range misfire. And here comes Harris.
Good decision.
Chaney working hard inside. He'll shoot 2. Now Reggie Chaney has found a way to stay on the court with those 4 fouls. He's got 4 points tonight, as Williams just picked up his second personal.
Reggie Chaney had a game-tying dunk with about 5 minutes left to go in the LSU game, and he has probably been the player that's impressed me the most as I've continued to watch Arkansas. Daniel Gafford needs somebody to give him a break. They need somebody else that gives them length and rim protection that can give them an inside presence. And Reggie Chaney at 6'8", 222 pounds, has been that guy for Arkansas of late.
What do you take away from a game like this? You're on the road, next time out at Ole Miss. I mean, certainly you want to come out a faster start on the road against the Rebels. But if you're Arkansas, it's kind of back to the drawing board and you're trying to get your young guys to grow up faster.
Well, this is one of those tapes where I don't know if we would throw it away or not, candidly. Every team just about has had games like this where they went up against a top 5 team. And so for Arkansas, you really want to put this behind you, learn a few things, and then just work and get ready for Ole Miss.
Sloppy play by Turner on the no-look try. And Jones on the other end. Chaney triple team. Embry Simpson launches. And the Vols claim the board.
And for a young team, Roy, you know, you've come back against so many other teams, but you haven't faced the likes of Tennessee. I remember Grant Williams after they were up, I think maybe 12 at the half against Villanova. Not last year. I think it may have been either last year or the year before, but Villanova came back and just killed them. And he was asked after the game, what did you learn about yourself? And he said, we learned what it was like to play against an elite team. I think that's what the Razorbacks are learning tonight.
I think we've known Tennessee is elite, and this only confirms it that much more in this win against Arkansas. Hawks won here 2 years ago, their last trip to Thompson Bowling Arena, but that was a different team, different Tennessee squad as Chaney emphatically with a dunk.
Nice find. That time Kyle Alexander was just sitting on the hip of Daniel Gafford helping. It was a nice find.
Bowden. Off the back iron, Williams hit the deck and is in pain.
I got to see that one. Grant Williams, a pretty tough guy.
Well, that's Gafford. That's his 5th.
He sold it. He sold it. He definitely got hit in the face, and it's never fun to get hit in the face. But Grant Williams will play for money one day, but he's going to be an incredible salesman as well, too.
Gafford fouls out with 10 points and 7 rebounds. That's 7.5 off of his average. He joins Osaboyan on the bench, who also fouled out earlier.
Well, and he's not a guy that's going to force bad shots, right? First in the SEC and 12th in the country in field goal percentage.
You mentioned Grant Williams, too. I want to go back to that because we ended the first half with that conversation about what position he could play at the next level. So I want you to keep that in mind, too.
Okay, I'll do that. I love his game. He's the key to, he's obviously, I said Kyle Alexander is the most important player as far as taking them to the next level, but their bread is buttered through Grant Williams, and that's obvious.
It'll end a scoreless drought of just over 3 minutes for UT. Gafford having some fun with his packed house.
Shows a little personality.
That's some Sports Center top 10. Why not? Have a little fun. The combo block on Bailey. We saw a little gator chop for the Tennessee players last Saturday. Gafford has some fun after
like
fouling
that,
out. I
like
do.
that.
I think college basketball can use even more of that. You bring out the personality of these players.
The difference was Tennessee was getting a W. Arkansas had a tough night here.
Jones straightaway triple. Now, I tend to wear my emotions on my sleeve, so I identify with the players and coaches and analysts that do the same thing. Hogs trying to make this score respectable. Williams hacked by Bailey. He'll shoot a pair when we come back. All Volunteers here at Knoxville.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save. And in part by Expedia. Everything you need to go.
This weekend, you could have conquered that mountain of laundry. But instead, you're conquering this. Getting out of your comfort zone. It's possible in the all-wheel drive Kona, part of the Hyundai SUV family.
I'm off to college. I'm worried about my parents' retirement.
Don't worry.
Voya helps them to and through retirement.
Dealing with today's expenses while helping plan, invest, and protect for the future.
So they'll be okay?
I think they'll be fine. Voya, helping you to
and through
retirement.
Next time your crew gets together, try Zaxby's Boneless Wings Meal with Caribbean Jerk Sauce. Customize your flavor with any of our 9 delicious sauces or try our new Caribbean Jerk Sauce featuring fruity mango, spicy habanero, and jerk spices. Zaxby's.
Welcome to my store. It's one not bound by walls or limited by inventory or restricted by time. The only rule here is to untether your imagination and unleash it on the world. You won't believe what's in store. Rated E to
PlayStation.
With Expedia, I saved when I added a hotel to our flight. So even when she grows up, she'll never outgrow the memory of our adventure.
Unlock savings when you add select hotels to your existing trip. Only with Expedia.
Daniel Gafford's one of the top players in the country. Just a sophomore, maybe a lottery pick this summer. And after fouling out, scoring just 10 points, he'll have some fun tonight at the expense of Vol Nation. Refusing to sit down as they continue to chant. And I like the fact that they enjoyed a little friendly banter.
Well, two ways to look at that, right? I like the fact that he has a fun personality. Obviously, right, playing the clarinet and drums, you know he's got some flavor. Tennessee fans actually love it. It puts smiles on their face, but what they love even more is being up 23 points. So for Daniel Gafford, it's okay to have a little fun, but when they leave Knoxville, Tennessee, they need to go back to the drawing board and get extremely serious about their defense, right? We know Tennessee's a quality team, the way they distribute the basketball, but he's going to be key. And you know what else? When you have a young team, you look for that leadership right now. And for Daniel Gafford, a lot of his teammates are looking up to him. And so how you respond to losses says a lot about you. So for Coach Mike Anderson, I'm sure he'll have some dialogue to say, hey, this isn't funny, us losing. It's okay to have some fun from time to time, but it's serious. This is not what the Razorbacks are accustomed to. We don't care if Tennessee's the third-ranked team in the country or not.
I feel like you just put me in detention right there. Bringing me back down to
Well,
earth.
you said we keep it real on here, so we are keeping it real, Roy Philpott, right?
The lead is 25. Can Tennessee reach 100 points tonight? Fulkerson checks in. The Vols go to a 2-3 zone.
I like the fact they're showing a little zone. Any coach, any team that doesn't leave that in your back pocket, right? Use your arsenal of weapons that you have.
Back iron for Jones, and it gives the opposition something else to scout and you have to prepare for. Every team has a 2-3, but interesting to see it now. Alexander lost the handle. Isaiah Joe left open. 97-75. A timeout will be called by Mike Anderson.
And the crowd boos right now, but this is a teaching lesson for Coach Mike Anderson.
Vols will get Alabama here at home on Saturday. A road trip to Vanderbilt next week. West Virginia in the Big 12 SEC Challenge, which I love the fact they play that at the end of January. It breaks up the monotony of the conference slate. I know the coaches aren't a huge fan of it because obviously it's a step out of their comfort zone. Then at South Carolina, which is no easy task, and a road trip to College Station to begin February.
Yeah, well, obviously, you look at those games, all winnable games for Tennessee, but Alabama, a team that, depending on which team shows up, I think they could beat anybody in the league. With the West Virginia dealing with the loss of Konate, they're a lot like the rest of the Big 12 dealing with injuries. Tristan Clark over at Baylor out. You've got Kansas obviously dealing with injuries. Azubuike as well, and so that challenge is going to be intriguing, not to mention you've got the upper echelon of a lot of teams. We'll figure out who's in the upper echelon, but LSU, I don't believe, is playing in it. Auburn's not playing in it, nor is Mississippi State playing in it. And so those teams kind of get a pass for that Big 12 SEC challenge.
Real quick on West Virginia, I don't recognize that team without Javon Carter. He was kind of the heart and soul of everything Bob Huggins wanted to do for all those seasons, and now that he's gone, they just seem to be missing that extra something.
Well, if anybody can handle it, it's Coach Bob Huggins. You don't have, what is it, 800 wins by now?
Schofield on the floor, and for three. Tennessee hits 100. It's a free biscuit somewhere tomorrow, but it's a lot of points tonight. Friendly bounce for Isaiah Joe, and Joe now with 20.
Yeah, good job of Isaiah Joe. He continued to play throughout this game. I love his ability to shoot the basketball. He'll continue to grow. And as we mentioned, 19 scouts in the building, so it's an opportunity.
Certainly can build around Gafford and Isaiah Joe the rest of the year. Embry Simpson has had some moments. A big road win against Colorado State. At 14 against Austin Peay in a comeback win. Hawks will get Ole Miss Saturday. Rebels are ranked inside the top 20. And then Texas Tech. You want to talk about drawing a tough opponent, the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Mike Anderson and company faced with a tall task.
Yeah, that'll be tough. That'll be tough. One of the toughest teams in the country, obviously because of Coach Chris Beard, but I think this year in particular, you'll expect that. They're getting used to it in this league right here.
Has anybody done more with less than Chris Beard in Lubbock?
Maybe Kermit Davis when he was at Middle Tennessee, but no, Chris Beard is an outstanding coach, and obviously he, along with Lon Kruger, want to compete for a Big 12 championship.
Falls by 20 in what appears to be a statement victory. The 3 team in the country. Chaney to finish.
Actually, I like the bounce in the step, though, from Arkansas. Very important that you finish games, particularly in a gauntlet such as the SEC, with a certain body language and bounce. But Tennessee just keeps on coming.
Fulkerson with 7. On the hook shot with the left hand. Don't forget the Australian Open headed your way as soon as we're done here in Knoxville. Volunteers with 102 points on the board tonight. That matches their season high against Memphis back on December 15th. And this game has been as impressive as that score may indicate if you're just tuning in. Admiral Schofield with 17, all of those coming in our second half. Vols have led by as many as 30 points. Isaiah Joe will end this one with 23.
Well, this young man picked it up, right? He says, you can't put this one on me, guys.
7 of 12 from downtown. And Joe's just a freshman out of Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Look at Coach Rick Barnes over there, still coaching. Look at him getting on John Fulkerson right now. He just never stops. Coach Rick Barnes passing the legendary John Wood for all-time wins. You think about him amongst active coaches, Division I wins. He's 7th behind John Calipari, Cliff Ellis, Coach Huggins, Roy Williams, Boeheim, and Coach K of Duke.
Brock Jancic checking in. The all-mustache team. His dad's the defensive coordinator at Colorado State. Met him last fall. Great coach. And his son with a bright future. Freshman from right here in Knoxville. Tennessee, the #1 team in the country, yes or no after tonight?
I can't say. I can't say. I think it boils down to Tennessee, Michigan, and Virginia. But I say this. If you put any of those 3 teams at #1, I don't think you'll get a good point.
Inside, Walker's there to clean it up on the Jancic miss. Shot clock is off. Channing gets it back, and that'll do it. Tennessee Volunteers have won 18 in a row at home, and our final score tonight, 106-87, a convincing, crushing victory against Arkansas.
Dominating, outstanding job by Coach Rick Barnes, Hall of Fame coach. Coach Mike Anderson will continue to fight and get his team together.
Don't forget, coming up right now, ESPN's continuing coverage of the 2019 Australian Open, presented by SoFi.